Hey you guys, I'm back with our next step for the red pandas. So I've got a bunch of little bits here organized so that we can make ears today. So, all right, let's take a look. So here's my little comb that I think I showed you in a previous video that we'll use. And so the pieces for the ears, we have, there are three sizes of the, hold these up. Three sizes in the body color. There's sort of small, medium, and large. And I've got this step part way done so that we can have that organized. And then in the, the three body colors are for the back side of the ear. And then you have one small body color and two layers of white that are for the front of the ear. So I just want to show you how to assemble those today. So what we're going to do is, this is for the back side of the ear, and you're just going to take matching thread and layer those two together. And I'll just bring this a little closer to the camera so you can see. So it's probably about, I guess it's, let's see if we can look at it with a ruler here. It looks like it's about 1/8 of an inch that I'm stitching away from the edge here. And that amount is going to leave us enough to fluff it up and make it furry. So you're going to do a running stitch to connect the small and the medium. And then you're going to do the same to connect the medium and the large. And this stitch I'm doing right next to the edge of the small one. And that'll leave me roughly the same amount of distance for fuzzing up the edge. So let's just go ahead and do this. So we'll go around that whole edge here with a running stitch. You want to make sure not to catch the first layer as you're doing this one, because you want to have that loose so that you can break up the edge and bring out all that fuzzy fur that we're looking for. All right, let's see. We are almost at the end. Maybe 2 more stitches here. And then we'll make our knot on what will be the back side. So the layered side like this is the front of the back of the ear. And then we're going to make our knot on the back side. So I'll do that. Got another one for good measure. And snip, snip. Okay. So what you want to do is make 2 of these, and then you're going to make 2 more that will be with the white layers and the one body colored layer. So let me just show you, I've got things in progress here. This one has the large and the medium layer. These guys are already fluffed out, so you can see what that looks like. It's very fuzzy. And then I will fluff out this layer here so you can see what that looks like. Hold on a minute. I'm going to move I'll move my camera down so that we can get a little closer. And let me get my focus on here. All right, so this one has the large and the medium fluffed, and this is the technique for doing it. So we're going to take a pin. You can use a sewing needle, you can use a straight pin, whatever you want or have handy. This is a Merchant and Mills, I think they might be called toilet pins, which makes not a lot of sense to me, but anyway, there's sort of a long glass-headed pin. All right, so I like the longer pins because they're just easier to hold. But you could use, if you have a doll needle or anything that's kind of a long needle or pin, you will be just fine. All right, so here's what I'm doing. I'm taking the point of the pin. And this is like what we've done to the face too, that I was showing in that last video, but now we're doing it on the edge. And you're going to notice, you see that little pill there? You'll notice some of those coming out, and that's nothing to worry about. It's just what happens. And then we're going to brush those out or comb them out or we can even just pick them out with our fingers. So here we go. So here's this, and I can just pull those off and have a nice soft edge. So for each layer of the ear, on the front and the back, you're going to do this process where you'll go around the edge. And then on the small layer, which is sitting on top of both of these, so let's just take a look at that. I'm going to remove my little pills. And then if you have a comb handy, you can do this, and that helps to bring any of those pills out. All right. Okay, so that one's ready. So now I wanted to show you the difference between these two. Can you see that? See on the surface how this one I brushed out with the pin, and now I can't even see my running stitch? So that's our next step. So I'm going to take to the surface of this, and get more in front of the camera here, and brush out across my running stitch, just lightly, and that's going to soften that stitch and make it disappear. It'll just bring the longer fibers out across the surface and hide your stitches. All right. So that's about it for that one. That's good. Okay. So what you want when you finish up is to have 4 that are all fluffed up. So this one we still have to go. But let me set this one aside for now, and I'm going to show you the gluing process, and I'll come back and finish that for when we attach to the head. So what you're going to need here is your tacky glue, and here's my turbo tacky glue, which I really like because it's so much more tacky even. And what we want to do here is just put a little bit of glue right in the center. Don't go crazy here because you still want a soft edge that you can sew on this lower bit here. Oh my goodness, excuse me. All right, so we've got a little glue there, and I'm just going to layer these two together. And what I want to do is see a tiny bit of the brown edge at the bottom here. And that's because I don't want this white to show on the back side of the ear. So let's just look at this one. So you can see how it's pretty seamless, the connection there. So the next step we're going to do is this. We're going to fluff up this last edge here. So we're going to soften that, and that is going to be the connection to the head that will become seamless. Okay. And just brush that out a little to get out any pills that might not look right. Okay. All right, so now this is basically ready to attach to the head. So I wanted to have a little bit of a fold, so I'm just going to fold it in half. So now it's got a bit of a crease in it, and that is going to attach to the head like this. Of course, this is in the, oh yeah, here we go. I've got the wrong color. This is the one in the peat moss, and this is the one that is in the color that the fox is made out of. So there we go. There's the matching one. So we'll make 2 of those and attach those to the head. So let me just show you the attachment process. So we're going to use a combination of glue and stitching on this. Stitching alone feels like it's not quite enough because we've got this nice soft edge back here, and it would be a little bit hard to connect. And so we're going to do both. So let's get our nice fold there again. And put a little glue along here. Was that even on camera? Let's see. Well, now you can see what the glue looks like. So I'm going to take this glue and just spread it along that edge and kind of get it to go out a little bit onto this fluffy stuff here, so that will stick down a little. Put a tiny bit more. We don't want so much that it's going to seep out, but we definitely want enough to make a good connection. So I'll do a little bit more of that. I feel like that's pretty good, and I've got it right up to the white edge here, which we didn't fluff out, but not over the edge at all. Just find a good spot to wipe your finger, and then we can find the right spot on the head. Now, I think different ear plate, like where you place the ears, can give them slightly different personalities. So, so don't worry too much about it. But if you want to look at some red panda pictures and see what you like better, they could be a little more forward on the head, or they could be a little further back on the head. It's kind of hard not to make a cute panda with an ear this fluffy. So anyhow, so that needs to dry. So what I want to do here is just put a couple of, before that glue gets too hard under there, just want to put a few pins in the ear to hold everything down while it's drying. And then we can go back and, so I've just, there's not a real right or wrong number here. I just put a few in that are going to hold it down across the area that's glued. And then we'll go back and tack it down with stitches after it's dry. And then our final detail will be to spray it with hairspray, and that will make all of these, whatever fine hairs are on the surface, will sort of be glued down with the hairspray when we're done. So that's how we attach our ears. You can go ahead and make both those ears and attach them to this point. And then in the next video, I'll show you how to glue them down, and we'll do the hairspray. And maybe I will have added the nose on this one that we did in the last video. So we'll be ready to roll on that. Hope you guys had a great weekend. And although I guess it's Wednesday already, isn't it? My goodness, time flies. Anyhow, have a great week, and I will see you in a day or two. Okay, bye.